We made a really cool one up that explains the isolation tank. But what it is a tank of water that has 800 pounds of salt in it, and the water is heated to the same temperature as your skin. And the salt makes you very buoyant, so you lie in the water and you float. And the fact that the water is heated to the same temperature as your skin, you don't feel it. So you're floating in this water. You don't really feel the water anymore because the water and the air and everything, it all feels like one thing. It feels like you're weightless and you're flying through space. And when you close the door in this thing, you're in total darkness, you're in total silence, your ears are underwater, you don't hear anything. And in the absence of any sensory input, you don't hear anything, you don't feel anything, you don't see anything. In the absence of all that, your mind has no distractions and your brain becomes supercharged, and you start having vivid hallucinations, and you start, like, it's really like a psychedelic experience. You really start, you start like really like researching like your thoughts and getting to the heart of who you are, separate from culture, separate from language, separate from your experiences. You get down to who you are. And then when you get to that, once you get past that is when the hallucinations start. Because you kind of cease to exist as you define yourself as who you are by your job, the car you drive, the house you live in, the family you have, the friends you keep. You define yourself by all these different things. But when you're in that tank, all those things are gone. There's no outside world. There's just the mind. It's the mind untethered from the body. And when you're in that state, you kind of transverse, you kind of travel between this consciousness and this reality to another one. You travel outside of this world, and you travel to the world of the deep inner thoughts. The deep inner connection between whatever the fuck this life is. The connection between your consciousness and the universe, and it gets pretty fucking crazy. I have one of those bitches in my basement, and I do it all the time. Is it like a really great power nap? No, it's not like a really great power nap. It's like a really great mushroom trip. But the best thing about it is you can end it at any second. Anytime you want to end it, you just open up the door and you're stone cold sober. So you can be in this deep trance where I've had really vivid hallucinations in there where I felt like I had traveled down to the very atomic structure of human beings and gotten through the lowest point. And at that lowest point, as you get lower and lower and deeper, it became like another universe. And the idea in my head was that all of this life that we see, subatomic particles to atoms to all these, like this progression of things getting bigger and bigger and bigger to humans, to countries, to continents, to planets, to galaxies, to universes, and then all this idea that things just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Well, it works infinitely in both directions, and it was like I was taken on a trip through the whole experience, from subatomic to atomic to planets to flying through space to space being subatomic to this new atom that exists, and it's a part of new organisms that exist, that are part of a new ecosystem that exists, that's a part of a new planet, that's a part of a new galaxy, that's a part of a new universe, and it goes on and on and on. And I went through this whole thing like over and over again, like multiple times, and it was really fucking crazy. It was a very, very vivid and very realistic and very life changing. The whole thing is like doing it a lot. You got to do the isolation tank a lot, and you got to learn to relax, and you got to learn to give in to the experience. Because so many times when you're in there, you're thinking about things and you're worrying about things, and you think about your bills and your bullshit, and oh, I got to lose weight, and oh, I got to do this, and all those thoughts distract you. It's like the state of mind that you can achieve in this isolation tank is very similar to the state of mind that you can achieve from when monks go through decades and decades of intense meditation. Like they achieve the same type of state of mind, but you're achieving it like with no discipline. So it's hard to manage sometimes. But if you can learn to manage it, and if you learn to go in with the correct thought process and to approach it the right way, and maybe meditate before you go in and calm yourself and put yourself in a good state of mind and know how to navigate the waters of these experiences, then you can get to the crazy part. The crazy part's hard to get to, but it's there.